Libra, I really do feel like this is a month that you are getting your fire back. After maybe a couple of challenging months, particularly the beginning of October when we had a new moon eclipse in your sign, it really feels like you are getting control of things and maybe even your finances as you're becoming more stable and abundant. If you're looking forward to this month's reading, then definitely be sure to hit like, subscribe, and the bell notification so you can always stay up to date with what's in the cards for you. For those of you who are brand new, my name is Michael, and I utilize tarot and tropical astrology to intuit monthly forecasts for your zodiac sign. And I actually do have a little favor to ask before we dive into today's reading. As many of you have noticed, I am now going by a different name. I'm now using Serafino Esoterica across all of my social media. Part of the inspiration for this new name is that I'm really excited to branch out and kind of broaden more than just tarot and astrology videos. I love doing these readings for all of you. It's really such a gift. And I also really want to talk about some other things. So if you have any questions or topics that you would like me to cover, definitely feel free to leave me a comment or send me a message, especially on Instagram. That's probably one of the best ways to get a hold of me. You can actually find all of my links for my social media accounts and my website in the description of this video. I will never reach out to you to solicit my services. Anyone who does this is just a fake account, so you can report and block them. And I just really appreciate all the support that you've given this channel and to me over these years. It really is a gift to do this work, and I'm so excited to continue putting out information and readings for all of you. Before we dive into your reading, I just want to give you a reminder that this is a general reading, meaning not all of the messages in this video are going to be meant for you specifically. If this video doesn't resonate, it's totally fine. Nothing went wrong. You may want to check out the playlist for your moon or rising sign, however, as there may be more messages for you there. It is also up to your own intuition and discernment to figure out what messages apply to your own life and what should be left behind for somebody else. Anyways, before we get into the tarot, I did actually pull a couple of animal cards while really meditating on your energy, and I got the cheetah, which really feels like this dynamic, fiery energy that I was talking about at the beginning here. I do get the sense that some of you are really gaining momentum, you are feeling lit up, you might even be connecting with purpose. And it's really important that you ask yourself why before you charge into something, because there is a very powerful energy here. But overall, I feel like there's this mobility that you are starting to feel again. Something is starting to come alive for you. And I feel like the past couple of months have been very focused on mental health. We did have, again, an eclipse in October, and that was a very disruptive period for you, but ultimately a very catalyzing one. And while eclipses can initially feel disruptive, it really does give me the sense that you're starting to integrate something. You're kind of being forged by the fire, so to speak, with the cheetah, and you're really getting revved up. We do also have the eagle coming out for you as well, which is a very bold energy, kind of diving in, taking charge, taking flight. I really feel like you are initiating something this month, and it's very important that you take charge of your own wellness, your own health, your purpose, your pretty much every area of your life. You are becoming very active and proactive, I should say. So what are the messages for Libra? What are the tarot cards for Libra in the month of November? Interesting. We do have the Queen of Cups with the World in reverse. And honestly, right away, what this feels like to me, Libra, is in the past, there's kind of been this reconciling a lack of boundaries. When I saw the World in reverse and the Queen of Cups, I literally saw an empathic person taking on the weight of the world. Obviously, globally, things are really, really challenging right now. And I feel like maybe you were taking on a lot of that energy, but also you do need to have a strong sense of boundaries, because boundaries in the psychological sense are also correlated to energetic boundaries as well. If you have a strong sense of who you are, what you are feeling, then you won't be so confused about the psychic energy that you are taking on as well, and your energy is more resilient, more robust. I really do get the sense you've been very emotional as well, Maybe you just feel like you are carrying the weight of the world. There is just a very heavy burden that you have been carrying, but this is showing up in the past. Let us remember that. This is not necessarily what is happening in November. I just feel like emotionally you've been in a very, very heavy place. Oops. Just half the deck fell out. Let's get a little more clear, Spirit. What are the messages for Libra for the month of November? We do have the Five of Cups. Yeah, you've been really emotional. Honestly, when the Five of Cups comes up, it's sometimes crying over spilled milk. Maybe your emotions have been a bit too inflated, a bit too big with the world in reverse. Five of Cups is an interesting card because I really do think that it speaks of perspective. Because when we look at it, yes, there are 3 cups that are knocked over. This person is kind of mourning that. But we do also have the Two of Cups that still remains behind him. And so there are still things that are there. It's not that all is lost, even if it feels that way. And I think with this coming up as the advice or the clarity you've gained from the past, you're kind of recognizing like, okay, yeah, I was really in my feels, but now I'm starting to see that maybe things aren't as bad as I thought they were. And like kind of seeing what still remains, what is still there, what is still supportive, what is still beautiful in your life. That feels really, really important to me. And sometimes with the Five of Cups, we don't really see it in the art here, but it's like there are 2 cups of wine that are knocked over, and then there's a green liquid from another cup, and it's kind of implied that that was poison. And so, like, while you did lose something, you might not have lost things that were good for you. Or the things that you lost may not have been good for you. Ooh. Interesting. We do have the Eight of Wands. Yeah, this is cheetah energy. This is like charging in. There is something very sudden that is changing. What is going on here for Libra? Tell me more about this Eight of Wands. I feel like there's some news coming in. There's just something that's shifting very quickly. Or honestly, I feel like you are doing something. And I think one of the best things astrologically this month for you, Libra, is that we have Venus, your ruling planet, actually entering into your sign on November 8th. And Libra is the planet of love, it's the planet of beauty and abundance. And I really do get the sense that this is going to be a very healing transit for you, especially after the eclipse in October. It feels like there's just this sweeter energy that is coming in, and it's very renewing to you. Tell me more about this Eight of Pentacles, or I'm sorry, this Eight of Wands. Tell me more about the Eight of Wands. We have the Three of Wands and the Hanged Man in reverse. It feels like if there's been something that has been in the works for a while, something that you've been planning for, or something that you've been waiting to come in, it feels like there is finally something that is arriving to your life, something that you're manifesting. Literally the metaphor I'm getting is like you placed your order and there was something that went wrong in the shipping, but now something is finally here. And I feel like you are able to move forward. There's something really exciting. You're also looking forward to something again as well. And ultimately with the Hanged Man in reverse, you are getting yourself unstuck. You're realizing ways that you might have been holding yourself back or sabotaging, or how your beliefs about yourself could be very limiting to you. But I feel that you are getting out of this energy. And it's so interesting how we jump from from water into all of this fire. So I really do feel like, again, the heat is rising. Something is feeling very exciting for you. What else do we have for Libra? We do have the Ten of Swords with the Star. Very interesting. So the Star represents hope, faith, and renewal. But the Ten of Swords often indicates an ending. Sometimes there's a sense of betrayal with this as well. But to be honest, when I see these cards coming out together, Libra, I feel like you're just saying enough is enough. And part of the boundaries are like the boundaries you have over your own emotions. where it's like you don't actually have to believe in your thoughts and in your feelings all the time. You don't have to believe in your internal dialogue. You don't have to believe in the stories you tell yourself. And I feel like that's kind of how I'm getting this Ten of Swords. There's just something where you are like, enough is enough. I'm just done. You are putting an end to something, and you are putting an end to it once and for all, and it might even be a bit of a dramatic end, but it's like, you have to like put something to rest. You have to let something go. But I feel like it's not even this like sad thing anymore. I feel like you've already cried about it, and now it's like, you're just done. And you know, or at least you can connect to the universe at large and have faith. I feel like some of you have had a hard time letting go of certain situations or certain relationships because you haven't seen the greater plan, the greater potential. You only saw the immediate loss, the loss of the possibilities, the loss of what you thought would come from it. But there is so much more in store for you with the Three of Wands and the Eight of Wands, and I feel like you are really recognizing that in November. That your life isn't over, your life didn't end, it's actually just about to begin. There's something much more exciting, much more dynamic, and much more spiritually aligned for you. And I do feel like there are some things that you are putting an end to. There are cords you could be cutting or removing with other people. You're really just taking a leap of faith here, I think, in some way too, or just like trusting that the universe is supporting you and the universe wants to support you. Or you can call that God, you can call that the divine, you can call that creator, whatever it is you refer to it as. I feel like it's important to have faith in something larger. What else do we have? And I mean, I do feel like there is some sort of confusion this month for you. Again, just kind of thinking of the astrology. It's actually more at the beginning of November, but we do have Venus in Virgo. Again, Venus, your ruling planet, opposing Neptune in Pisces. They're in opposite places in the sky. And so there is this sense of confusion. And I feel like, yes, you're taking good care of yourself. Maybe you're meditating or taking care of your mental health. Like, you kind of know on some level, but when it comes to the practice in your day-to-day life, how you're supposed to live, there's some confusion there, or there's kind of a lack of clarity there. Maybe you are gaining clarity on how to better support yourself or better live your life. I feel like there has been sort of a confusion or kind of a feeling of being lost. That was too many. Show me clearly. Three of Swords in reverse. Yeah, I really do feel like you're coming out of this painful feeling, and it's like you're becoming more stable in a lot of ways, both emotionally, but I also want to say financially. Again, it's like, honestly, like, what I'm really getting at with the Ten of Swords and the Star, I feel like you're coming out of victim mentality. And I kind of hate that phrase because I think it could very easily be twisted into like victim blaming, and I'm not trying to blame victims for anything. But I do think when you think of yourself as a victim all the time, it does become wounding to you spiritually. It does hurt your energy. It kind of keeps you in dynamics and patterns that are painful. And I feel like with the Three of Swords in reverse, it's like you're just done hurting. And it's like, all right, I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to do the things I have to do. You know what you have to do. You know what you need in order to be more stable or to grow more specifically. Because I feel like some of you are really stepping into your purpose or stepping up into your purpose. It's like you're stepping into your potential, actually, is the best way to phrase this. You are stepping into your potential, and it's like you're no longer holding yourself back, especially with the Hanged Man in reverse. I'm just going to be honest. The way this kind of feels to me is like maybe you made the blocks in your life about other people or about the situations without taking your own agency and authority into consideration. And I feel like even if these things are true, like you're in relationships that are holding you back, there's still part of you that's choosing to be in those relationships, whether that's a totally conscious choice or not. And it feels like you're realizing, okay, yeah, these are the decisions I've made, these are the choices I'm making that are keeping me in this energy, and I need to make some shifts. And it's like, it's not actually about other people holding you back. Because I feel like that's kind of a line that gets thrown out around a lot in kind of readings and in spirituality. I think there is some truth to it. Like energy attracts like energy. There's kind of a group normalization that happens. But it's like, I feel like you're taking your agency back in a way where you can't just put the blame on other people or on the past. You have to make a decision to move forward. You have to put an end to something and trust that there is something better for you on the other end, on the other side. You kind of have to work towards it. But I really do feel like you are releasing a lot of pain. Any other messages for Libra? And I say none of this like trying to throw shade at you. I know sometimes those messages can feel really pointed for people, but it's like, we're all human. We all do these things at certain points in our lives. And I think, it's not about blaming yourself. It really isn't. It's not about blaming anyone. It's just like, you're done. You're done, Libra. And I feel like a lot of you already get that, just looking at this spread. I feel like a lot of you are like, yeah, there's just no point in blaming anyone or even myself. It's just like, what do I do now? How do I move forward? And I feel like you are moving forward in a very big way. Any other messages? Woo! King of Wands. Love that. Very passionate energy, but also very controlled. I feel like you are becoming a self-made person in some way. I almost get the sense that you are stepping into a leadership role, or you are becoming the mentor that you wish you had. It's like you're really taking control over something. Tell me more about this King of Wands. Interesting. I was actually going to say, for some reason, I feel like there could be something with travel this month as well. We do have the Eight of Cups. We have a full moon in Gemini on the 27th, I believe, of November. And this can signify the end of a journey or some sort of travel coming to a completion or coming to a peak. So there could be something with travel, but I really do feel like you're leaving something behind. And maybe it is an old sense of self, an old identity, an old story. Whoops. Page of Wands. Yeah, I feel like you're going in a more creative direction. You're really going after your passions more, and it's bringing more stability. Is there anything for relationships? Anything about relationships? Seven of Swords. I feel like there have been some shady energies around you. Just like not trusting, feeling distrustful. Maybe someone's been talking behind someone's back. Maybe there was some sort of betrayal, or someone wasn't what they appeared to be. Yeah, I really do feel like there is kind of this energy that you are letting go of, Libra. And I'm sorry if that's the case. Queen of Pentacles. Could be a Taurus energy, Capricorn energy, Virgo energy. Someone who wasn't very sincere, maybe even lied about their financial situation, or might have been in a lot of debt or something like that, and you didn't know, or did something with money, maybe stole money, borrowed money. Temperance in reverse. My God. Yeah, I feel like there's a really unhealthy relationship, and maybe that's still around you. Um, Temperance in reverse is interesting. Honestly, when I get this card, it's like there is a situation, maybe not a romantic relationship, but I feel like there's a relationship for many of you that just isn't meant to be worked out. Um, Even if it feels comfortable or stable or familiar. I don't think that should be mistaken for compatibility necessarily. Um, More so like just because someone feels familiar or someone feels like, I mean, it's what you know, right? I don't think, I really feel like a lot of you are letting go of someone. Could also be Sagittarius energy as well with Temperance. Anything else for relationships? Interesting. We have Agape and the Nine of Cups. Agape is a unique card to this deck, and it actually is the love of humanity. It is a philanthropy. I feel like there's something about you connecting with other people, connecting with your dreams, connecting with your purpose. I feel like a lot of you are trying to get a sense of meaning out of relationships that you're actually supposed to be getting from your own achievements or from your own kind of spiritual purpose. And you might have sought out relationships where you were essentially in the role of savior or attempting to be in the role of savior or healer, but that's actually something that you are supposed to be giving to others. Um, and I think that's part of you kind of taking control of things. It's like you're trying to feel the sense of worth. You're trying to feel lovable from people who just aren't able to love you in a healthy way. And so you're finding that in purpose. You're finding that in something that you are doing, which is very interesting. And it feels like you are fulfilling something for yourself. And that's not to say that there won't be a relationship for you in the future, but it just feels like relationships right now, it's kind of like, yes, there's been disappointment. Yes, there's been some heartache or some deception or confusion. It doesn't feel like that's meant to be worked out. It's meant to be transmuted in a different way with Temperance. It's meant to kind of catapult you into healing yourself, into loving yourself, and also into your purpose. Any other messages? I mean, this could be involving a friend as well. It really could with Agape. Um, any other messages for Libra? Any blessings Libra should be aware of? What are the blessings coming for Libra? We do have the Two of Swords. Something that you have been waiting for is coming in. I really did get that with the Three of Wands and the Eight of Wands. And the Hanged Man in reverse. It really feels like whatever has been delayed is finally coming in. So that is a blessing. I feel like things are finally happening that you've been waiting for, or things that have been delayed are finally coming to a close or realization. We have the Fool. New lease on life energy here. I actually really love that as a blessing. I feel like there's just this new lease on life. The Fool actually represents Uranus, and Uranus is in the sign of Taurus, which is actually being very activated this November as well. I think maybe there's some shakeups, maybe there's some confusions, but it feels like there's something that's awakening for you, specifically kind of cutting loose ties. That's interesting. because Taurus represents your astrological eighth house of karma, of energy exchange, whether that's sexual or investments. It feels like you're kind of cleaning the skeletons out of your closet. And there's this new lease on life that comes from that. I also feel like there could be some sort of breakthrough for you as well. There could be some sort of financial gain or windfall that comes in, some unexpected money. I could actually see that as well, especially if that's something that you have been waiting on. Any other blessings? We do have the Two of Cups. So I do feel like there are relationships, or there is a relationship in the cards here. I do feel like there is support. I feel like part of this taking a leap of faith and being brave with the Fool is also the bravery that it takes to be vulnerable and to be connected, because you can only feel as loved as you are willing to feel vulnerable to another person. And I feel like there is something beneficial to your love life here, even if right now it's looking like you're letting someone go. I do think there are aligned relationships coming in. Maybe some of you are in good and healthy relationships, and what you are letting go of is a past person, maybe the wounds or patterns or that story. It feels like there's a lot of healing, and however that is manifesting for you individually, it feels like it's very positive for your love life overall, or for your closest relationships. So really, really beautiful energy. I think I'm going to wrap up here with, I actually want to pull a color healing card for you. And I am going to read this straight from the book. It offers a very specific exercise, but you're welcome to use these colors in whatever way your intuition feels is right for you. I'm just kind of offering the technique as a sort of suggestion, something that may be helpful for you, especially if you're kind of going through a lot. But honestly, Libra, I don't feel like you're crying over things anymore. I don't feel like you're in the pits emotionally anymore. It's like, yeah, things sucked. It sucked that this stuff happened. It sucked that that relationship went that way. But, like, you're kind of over it, you know? Ooh. We have yellow, purify your body. And I will say, like, you're figuring out how to take care of yourself. I did talk about there being some sort of confusion around that at the beginning of this month. And especially with like Neptune just kind of floating around in Pisces, like there's sort of just this overall sense of confusion. But I do feel like there's something about purification this month that's really coming in. So let's read this. And I think I'm going to pull one more. Also noticing that this is master number 22. This is about you being a teacher, you being a guide. I told you that before. It feels like that's something that you're supposed to be deriving worth or purpose from. Yellow assists with purification, treating diabetes, and cleaning the intestines and bowels. Ease arthritis, release toxicity, and clear your skin with yellow. As the color of intellect and mental stimulation, yellow can help you think more quickly and clearly. Purify your digestive system with yellow rays of light. The purification exercise here is go outside and spend a few minutes looking at and feeling the rays of the sun on your skin. Imagine bright yellow sunlight moving through your whole digestive system, cleansing your intestines, pancreas, and bowels of all toxicity and waste. Sense the density dissolving and your organs becoming clean and healthy. Pour some water into a yellow glass and put it into the sunlight for an hour. Then drink this water while focusing on purifying your body, mind, and heart. You can say, I allow my mind and body to be cleansed inside and out. So it's interesting because something I also got from this was like phototherapy or light therapy. That could be something that is helpful for some of you as well. I really like the idea of you drinking in the sunshine, especially since in the northern hemisphere here we are seeing less sunshine these days. I think it is important to connect with this light and connect with this inner light. Maybe even getting like a light therapy or therapy light for some of you. But I actually see you doing like color therapy specifically, which is interesting. I kind of had that flash in my mind's eye. So some of you might be using color therapy maybe with a projector, or I know like sometimes saunas will have like color therapy as well as you're kind of soaking in that energy. That could be a way to kind of purify your body, but also your mind. So I actually pulled another card for you as well, Libra. The camera did cut out at the very end, but I got Cyan, and the message here is building your confidence, which I really do feel like is something that's important here. I really do feel like you are bolstering your sense of self, maybe even speaking a truth. Let's actually read what this says here, if I can find it. There we go. Cyan strengthens your confidence and belief in yourself, balancing the systems of your body and giving you clarity in times when you need to make choices. It also helps release stress to attain peace and relaxation, and can be very helpful in fine-tuning your communication abilities. Build your confidence with the help of a Cyan circle. I'm just noting really quickly, I kind of like stuttered in between reading this, and it feels like maybe some of you do need to work with your throat chakra. Maybe you're having a hard time communicating yourself or communicating for yourself in a succinct way. So Cyan could also potentially be helpful here as well. I know when we feel confident, we generally speak less often, or we say things in a much more direct way. And that might be part of how you are healing your throat chakra. It's just kind of saying what you mean. Anyways, here is the exercise for this color. Close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath in. As you breathe out, allow yourself to let go of all the stress and tension in your body. Take in another slow breath and visualize a deep cyan color filling your whole body. Then, as you breathe out, relax. Imagine a big cyan circle in front of you, focusing on the different qualities that make you feel confident. They might be things like knowing what you are doing, feeling good about yourself, feeling happy, getting what you want, and so on. Place all of these qualities into the cyan circle, and then visualize stepping into the circle yourself. Breathe in all of these qualities, allowing yourself to become more confident and empowered. When you feel completely confident, clap your hands 3 times and say, "I now embrace my confidence, happiness, and clarity," and walk out of the circle. From now on, every time you need an extra boost, clap your hands together and breathe in the confidence from your cyan circle. And I mean, you don't have to clap your hands together, but I think having some sort of somatic thing could be helpful. I even sometimes draw like sigils, either in the air or kind of even in my pocket, just as sort of symbols to remind myself of intentions that I've set. But I really do feel like the cyan energy is really important for you. It makes sense that this is coming in, because I feel like there's been a lot of self-worth stuff. There's been a lot of burden that you've been carrying that's just not meant to be yours to carry. And you kind of need to bolster your energy, bolster your boundaries a bit more. And I feel like the cyan color will be very helpful in doing that, and also in expressing yourself. Anyways, Libra, I do hope that this was helpful. Definitely be sure to hit like and subscribe, especially if you've made it this far. You're welcome to check out the other videos as well, maybe for your moon or rising sign. There will be a playlist at the end of this video. You can also find that on my channel. I do also have links in the description box for personal readings and distance Reiki sessions for those of you who are ready to take a deep dive. You can also find all of my social media accounts there. And I will see you next time. Have a happy and blessed November, Libra. I'm sending a lot of beautiful energy your way. Take care.